Are you ever just having a moment? You ever just have a day or a period of time in your life where everything just seems to be going belushy? We all have that one thing in our lives that we turn to whenever things aren't going our way. Some of us turn to illicit substances, others bury themselves in movies or TV shows or comics. But me? All I need is Pac-Man World for PS1, and I'm good, dog. Because Pac-Man World? This game is easily the most chill, the most relaxing, the most lo-fi hip-hop beats to relax/study to game you've ever experienced in your whole life. It will make you completely zen in every way, I promise you. No matter what you're going through, no matter how crazy the world gets or how stressful your life is, Pac-Man World will always be there to calm you, to soothe you, to remind you, hey, it ain't that deep, bro. And when you look at Pac-Man, you see the never-ending smile on his face. No matter what's going on, he's always smiling brightly like this. Almost as if he's making a choice, to just be present in the moment, and not let anything get to him, not let anything wreck his vibe, wreck his unending positive energy. This dude literally had his entire family kidnapped on his birthday, and he's still in good spirits. So what's my excuse? Maybe if I pick up the controller and play the game, I'll actually learn a thing or two about humility. The gameplay in itself teaches humility, honestly. I mean, it's so basic and straightforward, you literally just stumble around as Pac-Man, collecting dots, collecting fruit and unlocking doors, beating up ghosts, and making it to the end. It doesn't get any more basic than that. Sure, some may call it boring or derivative, average or uninspiring, but I for one call it humbling. This isn't some fancy game that's trying to wow you like the wide-eyed kid when he sees his first dinosaur in Jurassic World or whatever. This is just a basic-ass game asking you to run, jump, collect stuff, and occasionally kick some ass. And I love how Pac-Man moves in this game. He just kinda slips around in a modest, suppressed way, like he's not running head-on into battle with the focused determination of a Scottish Highlander. He's not on some rage-fueled revenge kick like the Punisher. He just slips around each level map with ease. Now, if you want some action, you can go ahead and try out the Rev Roll or Butt Bounce move. The Rev Roll is great for getting Pac-Man across some wide gaps or steep slopes, although it can kinda throw you in harm's way more often than not, I'll admit. Hey, this game might be mediocre in the grand scheme of things, but you gotta throw them some credit for bothering to take physics into account here, because they did not need to be considering this in a game about a sentient yellow dot going around beating up multicolored ghosts. The butt bounce is absolutely legendary for one reason in particular. You can just do it forever. You can literally just bounce yourself like a basketball through this entire game if you wanted to, and nothing's going to stop you. It just makes movement feel so fluid and satisfying, and there's a little bit of rhythm you gotta keep up with pressing the A button to keep the bounce going, which adds extra flavor to many of this game's platforming segments if you can master that. Pac-Man himself simply can't be bothered by any of the world's petty challenges in this state. He is just having too much fun right now. Another thing you can do is slam Pac-Dots on the ground in front of you, rather than at enemies. And you can also charge the throw-up, making for a more powerful Pac-Dot throw that, again, he just kinda slams on the ground in front of him rather than at the enemy, making the move kinda worthless because the move has no range. Like I said, this game's not perfect. But look, man, it all adds up to create a simple platforming fun. And that's not all. Because this wouldn't be a true Pac-Man game if you weren't periodically running through mazes to collect dots and fruit like the good old days. And you can find said opportunities to do so at least once in every level. First, you gotta nab the Galaxian key to unlock the door. Then it transports you to a full-on classic Pac-Man maze complete with dots, fruits, ghosts, you name it. This provides a nice little reprieve from the usual gameplay, and I love the added touch that each of these mazes has its own unique theme based on whatever world you are in at the time. And they each add their own unique traps and their own unique layouts to it. It's just, they didn't need to create this much variety, bro. And it's all good, playa, because if you have a hard time with these, Pac-Man World dishes out extra lives like gobstoppers, and you're given so many chances to complete these mazes. So it ain't even really a thing, G. Pac-Man World isn't here to try and test your mettle as a gamer. It's literally just here for you to have a chill time, and it's not very hard at all. Some of the boss fights may beg to differ, however. I'm specifically thinking about the second world boss, as this dude is, not gonna lie, a bit of a doozy. You basically have to dodge tornadoes and lasers coming at you while you rev run on these platforms, thereby triggering the enemy's mouth to open so you can destroy the gem inside. I'm also thinking about World 4 boss, which has you racing against clowns in some sort of clown car race. But from a bird's eye view perspective, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I have a hard time defending this one, being that it comes out of nowhere and just feels way too different from the rest of the game, and not in a good way. Your limited field of view as to what's coming is what really ruins it for me, and the clown AI are just so dumb that pretty much all you have to do to win this race is survive all the way to the end, while everyone else will just go flying off into the endless abyss, and you'll just have a free pass to the finish line in first place. Although sometimes the other racers will get in your way, albeit on accident, and this can make it very annoying to have to get all of your momentum back, because it's just super awkward to control this cart. It really is. I do really appreciate the World 3 boss fight though. It's an extremely clever way to call back to another Namco Atari title in Galaxian, and gives the player an opportunity to enjoy an alternate style of gameplay that is purely based in retro. Which, by the way, that completely falls in line with the entire concept of Pac-Man World. It's a 3D platformer with a retro arcade flavor, and having a Galaxian-style boss fight further hammers that home. Speaking on boss fights one last time, let's talk about the final boss. Because we gotta dish out a lesson to Toc-Man, who thought it was okay to not only kidnap our entire family on our birthday, but also prance around as if he were literally us. Not only is that a little weird, but it's also disrespectful as fuh, so now we gotta do it to him. This boss fight is overall entertaining and complex enough to suit a final boss, and believe it or not, it is actually just a little bit challenging to get through. Toc-Man's Pac-Dot slam is rather OP, as when he slams the dots it creates this energy field that expands outward and you gotta jump over it to avoid taking damage. But thanks to the fact that this game's camera is a little bit lower to the ground than it probably should be, it makes it that much harder for you to gauge your jump as you try to jump over this energy field. Not to mention Toc-Man's rev roll is rather unhinged and very difficult to dodge, but it's a completely doable fight, especially thanks to all of your family members who you've freed throughout the game giving you extra health as needed, as that really evens the score here. Toc-Man does not overstay his welcome either, thank God, and it is rather satisfying to watch him get his comeuppance at the end. Maybe you could argue Pac-Man took things a little too far by smiling in this dude's face as he ate him alive in front of everyone, but considering what they did to him, I don't blame him. Look man, if I haven't sold you on what kind of experience this is, then I really don't know what else to say. Pac-Man World is a game that knows exactly what it is, and doesn't try to be anything more. It's an average game that owns being average, and you can't not respect that. It also goes without saying that these PS1 era graphics and compressed CG cutscenes really add feelings of comfort and nostalgia to this whole experience. This really is a prime-time PS1 game, complete with polygonal graphics and all, although you can leave much of the PS1 jank by the wayside, impressively enough. And don't you dare sleep on the soundtrack either. There's a surprising variety of music here that extends from jazz to orchestral to industrial hip-hop and even to folk music at times, and it's almost always super relaxing to listen to rather than cacophonous. The theming in each of these worlds is just so impeccable too. My favorite world to revisit would have to be Space World, with the Ancient Temple world coming in a close second, and Industrial World being my least favorite. I like the opening Pirate World well enough, and Clown World definitely has its moments, although it's just a given that if you're elderly enough, you may find the constant a little bit much. Oh man, and if you're in a mood to soak up some serious Halloween vibes, the final world of the game's got your back, bro. I mean, you literally can hear a dude on occasion go while bats fly around and organ music's playing in the background, so like, I mean, what more do you need in that respect? Oh, and if you're looking to get into gambling, kids, the post-level recap screens got you covered as well. You can play some slots for extra lives if you're really greedy, and if you're extra greedy, you can play a bit of a unique bonus stage that's fitted for each world for extra points. These are timed though, so you actually do need to work for your pay a little bit here if you want to collect every piece of fruit and score as many points as possible for 100% completion. Cause yeah, that's a thing that you can do, is 100% fucking Pac-Man World for PS1. At the end of your life, when you're looking back at everything that you've accomplished, what do you think's gonna be the thing at the very top of the list? Because the fact is, Pac-Man World is an incredible experience. It's got an incredible narrative, the gameplay is smooth, it brings the chillest vibes known to mankind, and I love it. Please play it if you haven't already. Please, please God, play it. Holy shit.